welcome to a new live stream here from the Card Shark studio in Germany. Hi, Louis, and everybody who joined already.
Welcome back.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Nice to see you here on a Monday evening, if you are live or whenever you are watching this.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes, and you might have seen already today we are talking about hidden treasures. Effects that are cheaper than the Chinese knockoffs, and this is hard to beat anyhow.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, yes, their research and development, their R&D is rip off and duplicate, and that's what we don't want. And before we start talking about all this, here comes the intro.
There we are.
There we are.
There we are. There we go.
Actually today we are talking about several effects. I found two of them in a very nice book that was one of my first international purchases. By the way.
Oh, that's great.
Oh yeah.
How long is that ago?
I started Magic in 2004, as you know, and this book he's referring to stuff of 1999. And the book itself is called, I can show you, it's the best of the Learned Pig Project, the TLP. Let's try this. The best of TLP e-zine from Marco and friends. Marco, by the way, he is born and lives in Panama. And it was the most exotic book I ever bought back then. I thought, wow, I would finally know someone who lives in Panama. And even published a book, and it's I think he does a lot with emails, etc. And last but not least, then he published everything in a book, and there were really gems inside. And two of them I will show you today.
And teach?
Yes, and including teaching. That is correct. I texted Tom Stone right now that we are live on YouTube right now. And would be able to show the new deck.
Okay.
Something, because we have something very, very special here under the counter to show you in a second. So that's
secret thing.
That's really, really interesting. Yes. Here's a question: have you already ever? Now we will not judge you, or a little bit. Have you already purchased anything from a Chinese knockoff website?
I have bought something in China, but it was not a knockoff. It was like another product. I don't know if it was a copy or not. It was. I can say it. It was a coin vendor. It was like, I don't know what was it was called, the Hand of God. I don't know. It was a strange thing, like looking like a Sharpie. And that's one thing I bought there.
Did they pretend to be the original so
no,
that they used the name?
No, I just found under searching for a coin vendor. And it was like on AliExpress or so. I did not purchase something directly on a Chinese website. So that's not the one thing I did. But I know a lot of people who did, actually. Also professionals.
That's what kind of freaks me out. That one guy said, well, I don't know if the trick will be good or not. That's why I'm buying it from there to see if it works. And if it's good, then I will purchase it again from the originator.
Yeah, and
I'm thinking, bullshit.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I think we should do another topic about this for a whole video. This might be a really controversial topic for a video. Guys, if you see this, let us know. We don't judge you, but
a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. No, seriously. Do you buy from China? Do you have you ever purchased things from a China store, like rip-offs or stuff? Did you purchase something on purpose that was rip-off? Because I found something, and that's one thing in Germany. I found a store that sells stuff as its own when it's from another creator, and they...
Oh, but they then pretend of doing new routines, German,
right.
and all this.
And
happened as well.
I think this is even worse than buying
you don't know,
in China.
because what you also can do is you can purchase stuff that you believe is original, as the dealer bought it as a cheap knockoff, being produced as if it would be from the originator, so that you even get the packaging looking real, but inside is crap.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
They then are getting the worst shite ever. And then when they contact the originator saying what is wrong here, they would then find out this is not the original.
This has happened. Yeah, this has happened.
I
I've
can
heard
tell you.
about this.
I can tell you. Yes.
Not to me yet. Luckily.
Well, I saw several. Well, I go about 20 times to. Well, before COVID, I was at about 20 conventions every year around the world, 15 to 20, 25, whatsoever, around the world, and I have been on almost every continent besides of Africa. And I can tell you that it's sometimes really disappointing and makes me really angry if I see rip-offs that I can identify on dealers' tables.
Yeah.
And they are still allowed to be there during a Magic convention.
It's just sad because I think it's some kind of respect that you give to the creator. So it's you support their work, and people put work and money in it to create a product, and you would then buy it from someone who stole it. So I really think that's a really bad move, to be honest.
It is, and I can tell you, certainly some of our effects already have seen also Chinese websites and were copied there, and this is really disappointing.
Yeah, it's just sad, right? It's just sad if you see your work being ripped off and someone else gets some money for it.
The thing is, if you would know that sometimes the creative process to get to a certain point of a release, we don't try to put something out very quickly to make a few bucks. It is something where we would say, okay, now this was proposed to us. It's not everything is from us ourselves. We get certainly ideas sent in, and we are checking the presentation. Does it fit? Does it not fit? What is the method behind it? Does it fit? Can it be improved? Is it practical? Can you do it? Bring it in very easily. Take it out after the performance. Is it examinable? And so on and so on. All these things you have to consider. Then you have to pay the inventor if you are doing this. Most likely they get a certain split of every purchase. And then all this would then end up in a way that a Chinese just sees, oh, that's a best-selling trick on Murphy's whatsoever. Now let's copy it. And he's just purchasing one and producing thousands and sells them for a very cheap price. If he's even producing a real product or just sends the DVDs out, the downloads out there. Purchased by magicians never have their label read by the purchaser. Interesting. Oh, wait. Have their label read by the purchaser. Explain this, please, to me. What do you mean with never read the label by the purchaser? Do you think they are buying tricks that they will not use, or just put them aside?
I don't really get it.
No. I think yeah. I can see that. Unfortunately, a lot of magicians buy copies just to save some money. But as there's another saying, if you buy cheap, you are buying twice.
Twice, yeah.
So, and then therefore, because the first time it will not work, you will figure out, that was a bad idea, and you then pay twice and higher, and that doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
We are working on a solution in the future. You will sooner or later this year will hear something from us that will avoid going to any Chinese copycats regarding the Card Shark products. I think you will like the idea back then. People don't read the label as to where it is made. The thing is, I could show you a 100% copy of our Destiny deck that was where the packaging was completely copied, scanned in. If you don't know the original, you would not see that it is slightly darker, that it's not the right color. But it's just copied and then produced exactly the same way like we did it. Plus they have I think it was a Phoenix, no, a bicycle card case with a Phoenix design. Some weird shit that someone produced there just to copy our Destiny deck, referring to our website with our instructions.
Oh, that's
so
great.
These guys are even using our videos
Clever.
and making the product so that a purchaser would still believe it is not made in China. It's really terrible because the packaging doesn't change.
That's bad.
I have seen this for Christ Magic as well when he was in Blackpool. Christ Magic from Japan does great stuff, and there was a Chinese having exactly the same thing, and you only see a small change on the images, that they are brighter or not so. And this Chinese dealer, and that is a good part about Blackpool, was kicked out for life. For life, he's never ever allowed to come back to any convention, and that is what I would love to see at conventions, because the magic conventions are celebrating magic, and therefore also the dealer room should be clean. We cannot avoid that there are these copycats out there, and because we cannot shut those down, not that easily. But at least at magic conventions, we should not invite them.
It's a good thing.
I think enough of ranting, right?
Yeah, I think so. Let's go ahead.
But here's the cool thing. Now, if you go to a Chinese website and purchase an effect for, let's say, $2, you might get a download or whatsoever, or an impractical, I don't know. Or you can, for the same amount or less, purchase a book. And that's an interesting part. You can either go and purchase one of the newest ones, but it is so much nicer to get recommendations from other magicians. What was their most influential book?
Absolutely.
What you would recommend to read. And for instance, for me, it was the first books that I read were the Books of Wonder of Tommy Wonder. And it was a recommendation of Stefan Kirschbaum, one of the Flicking Fingers in Germany. And it changed my way of thinking as a magician so much. Plus, then also the what is the book of Roberto Jobbi's the series?
Card College.
Card College. Exactly, that's the English term of it. And this also is just a gem. But you don't always have to buy them new. You can also get them in second hand. And these guys at the magic conventions, they bring a whole truckload full of used books. I know Andy Greggett in America who is traveling by truck across the whole country. Most likely he's on his way back or on the way to the convention. He is visiting 1, 2, or 3 homes of former magicians who just passed away, where the widow gives away the book collection, etc. And Andy is then purchasing this collection, and sooner or later it is then available on his shelves at a convention, because he's only doing convention. He doesn't have an online shop. Yeah. He does not even have a website. He does not even have an email. You have to call him. You have to really call him.
That's 21st century.
Can you repeat the German book?
I think he means the
card college?
in German it's große Kartenschule.
Yeah, die große Kartenschule, genau. That's correct. Roberto Jobbi. And the other book was the Books of Wonder. Yeah, these
from Tommy Wonder. That's great.
They were not translated into German. I think.
Don't think so. No, yeah. I read them in English.
Now, here's an interesting thing that maybe you can use as well. I don't know the websites where you can find used books on the on international pages. I only know one site that is here in Germany, and they, even if the website is in German language, I'm showing it to you. It is this one here, zickverlag.de. And you will find over 1,000 books, used books, that you can purchase there in English language. They have other languages as well, and so on and so on. But you might have to use a Google translator, etc., to see what they exactly offer. The cool thing is, if you go there this week and purchase anything from them, and you are mentioning Card Shark, then they will send you an invoice with a 10% discount. What is really, really nice. Thank you to Zick. These guys are awesome. And they are really purchasing also old effects and categorize them and catalog them. You recently found something that you built yourself. Do you remember all the tricks that you purchased? No. Sometimes you get something like, oh my god, what is this deck?
I just said it in the German stream as well. I was cleaning my magic room a little bit on the weekend, and I found a drawer where I put all the stuff in when I rebuilt my studio. Yeah. And there was stuff in there, gimmicks. I did not even remember that I had them. And it was so much fun to go through all this, but there's such a huge percentage of stuff that you forget, that you don't even know that you had it. So that's at least what I have.
Yes.
Yeah. I was really happy. I found my Matrix art card.
Oh, cool. Give me 1 second.
Yeah,
You continue
hold on.
here because I'm texting with Tom Stone right
Hi
now.
guys. Yeah. So, but with that said, Christian is about to show you guys 2 tricks, and one of them is a thing that I would not really say fool me. I had a kind of an idea, but I think if you take some more work into it, it has really huge potential. But don't let me tell you.
Are we talking about
The second one that you want to do?
This one here?
Yeah, Miraskill. Oh. Not this one.
You said the second one, so it's on button number 2, right?
Yeah, the second.
Okay.
No, the second effect.
Okay. Let me try this. Can you help me and remove already some 8s, some 9s in red and blue?
I remove some
black?
8s
Yes.
and some 9s. This is part of the trick, guys. I remove some 8s and 9s from this deck. This is the build-up for the effect. Yeah. Some, or do you need all?
Well, the red, the 8s and 9s, so that we have 4 red and 4 black.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Do we have?
There we go. Oh, there's one missing. There's one 9, a red 9 missing. Let me just see. Where is it? Oh, there we go.
Now we have 4 and 4. That's perfect. So, we do the top camera, I would say, with us, that you can see what is going on. We are doing the effect here with 4 red and 4 black cards, and this is the oil and water 2-phase routine of Gabi Paredes. And he was mentioned in this book of the TLP zine. It's an awesome effect, and that was the first time ever I heard of the name Gabi Paredes. Unfortunately, he passed away, I think last year. And this is such a big loss in Magic. He was such a genius. And I will show you, in honor to him, this little oil and water routine. And these are really ungimmicked cards, as you might see in a second. So when I use the 4 black cards here and the 4 red cards over here, I will interweave them one by one. See. Therefore, when I spread, you will then certainly see that mixed. Really very well mixed all way through, red, black, etc., etc. And now we are taking just 2 cards out as the leader cards. We are taking the center, and I will not hide the circumstance that I just mixed these 2 cards, because it's not about this doing something hidden. No, it's in really plain sight. They are now showing, they are the leader cards. You might know the whole leader thing, where you then have the 2 red cards here, the 3, there's 4 cards here, and let's do it here as well. That's 1, 2 of the black, and 3 and 4 black cards. And now we are going into the second phase. We are taking again the black cards here. I spread one more time. And the nice thing about this can really be done now in the, well, with the help of a spectator. As you can see, I'm still interweaving the cards. You might think that this is somewhere in between. No, it's really at the second and third position. It's certain red card. And here come all the other cards. As you can see, all interweaved. And again, I'm closing all this, spreading one more time. I'm taking the middle cards out there, exchange them. And again, here we have the leader cards. When I show this one over there, then you will notice that all these cards are now perfectly separated.
Nice.
And this
nice
is
little routine.
The oil and water of Gabi Paredes. And all you would need is an Elmsley count, or 2 Elmsley counts, in a way that it's not looking like an Elmsley count, like counting 4 cards, but showing 4 cards. So that makes it a little bit different.
Very nice.
Now I have to show something on here on the table, because someone just joined us. And Tom is here. And I will explain it in a second, and maybe with these cards.
It is allowed, and we will.
Do you notice something? This is a great idea of someone who is right now here in the stream, and this is Tom Stone. Thank you.
Hi, Tom.
Yes.
Welcome to the stream.
It is an awesome idea that he had. Maybe it's worth trying. We already released the parlor size decks. These are the slightly bigger cards for parlor Magic. And now we are doing a prototype for Tom and for us ourselves, just to play around with this idea, because I think it really has potential. Because if you remember, in the old days, the magicians were using bridge-sized cards and not poker-sized cards. Back then, Divernon, etc., they all did their cards with the aviator, for instance, in bridge size, and then it turned into the poker size. And I guess also when you look at the old bridge size faces, the indexes really are terrible. They are so tiny and small
Yeah,
that
that's true.
this really doesn't look nice. So the poker cards that you know, like these ones, were already a great improvement over the bridge size. Yeah. Now we certainly came up with the large index cards. As you know, this is the slightly larger index, and this already is a great improvement for poker size. And now we try something with the slightly smaller size. As you can see, these cards are not really super tiny, just a little bit. So I would call this maybe a party deck that you can carry around.
It's just
at a party.
slightly smaller,
Yes,
but it has the same dimensions as the poker card. So
yeah, so the height to width is exactly the same, and I really like the idea. And this is something. Well, what did I do here? On here. So that you can see all the cards here. I'm spreading this, and the cards really look big, even in comparison.
since the indexes,
As the indexes are, I'm using here the large indexes as well, so it really doesn't show. Where's the small one? Did I do it?
What are you looking for?
The small 6 of whatever. The only poker size. Here, this one here. So if you compare it with this card, then suddenly, I think this 6, even if it's a smaller card, appears much clearer.
Yeah, it does, definitely.
Yeah, and now when you have small hands, like kids or women, or very small hands for men, you can do slides that you usually would not be able
Absolutely,
to do.
yeah.
By trying those. So
and
we don't know yet.
But you could also adapt then when you get used to this, because it's not such a huge difference from poker dimensions.
No.
You can adapt if you grow up. For example, if you really want to try some moves and you think your hands are too small, then this might be a really good option, I think.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Great,
yeah. So I really like the idea. So I made this as a prototype deck to give one of these decks to try out to Tom, and I would really love to hear what he thinks about the cards as soon as he gets them. And I hope he also liked the presentation here on the table. Now it is about the explanation of the routine. Hey, and Tom, what do you think? Do you want to give us feedback in the chat, or do you want to text it here in the on Messenger? Up to you. Happy to hear your opinion. So the oil and water routine is easier, and there's no sleight of hand involved at all, besides of the Elmsley count. Really, it's that easy. So when you have the black cards in your left hand, and you spread them, and you have the red cards in the other hand, you really do nothing tricky here, nothing, no sleight of hand. You're just interweaving the cards, one each next to each other, and therefore, when you show the cards, they're really interweaving all way through. When you square them up, spread it one more time. Now they are close to each other, and certainly all interweaved. What I'm doing is I'm removing these middle 2 cards and reverse them. That means this is what happens. You now have the black card on the bottom, you leave them on the table, and you have the red ones in the other hand. So when you take this one over, you're turning over the card on the face, and now all you have to do is, it would be an Elmsley count to show all the cards being red. You certainly can interrupt the pattern, and when you scoop up these 4 cards from the table, then again you are ready to do the Elmsley count to show 4 black cards.
Nice.
And certainly you're all set up for the next phase, and this again is fully automatic. When you take the black cards again, you spread as before. Now when you take the red cards, this time you're not going from the bottom and feed the cards in, but you go from the top. So the first card goes in between there. This is the only one you cannot show and flash, as this would be the black one. All the other ones now are already red. So when you go in there, the second phase, now you have an excuse to drop the cards casually onto the table to show 2 more red cards, because now you go in here, you can replace it one more time to say it's not on there, it's really here, and you can even flash, you can, you can flash the card here, and then interweave the other cards in there. And again, you close, this time you cannot show the spread certainly, and when now these 2 cards in the center are removed and replaced, the trick is done. It's already all set. Here you have all the red cards, and here you have all the black cards. Gabi Parejas, Oil and Water 2-phase routine. It's really super simple when you can do an Elmsley count.
Nice.
Definitely a great routine.
You don't need any gimmicks. It's just, let's say it's an impromptu thing that you can
Absolutely,
do.
yes.
Great.
Yes. So, and this was trick number 1. I found another one that I really liked.
Yeah.
You have the deck here. Maybe you can give it.
And this one was like a little bit. I had a slight idea, but I was pretty much fooled, and I did not saw this version of it that's coming right now. And I really,
some of you might know it.
Yeah, and I really think it has a lot of potential if you build in another phase or so. But yeah, let's check it out.
I need to write down a prediction.
Oh, yes.
I
All right.
still have here. Here we go.
Okay, then I give it another shuffle here, so just to make sure.
Which color do you want?
Black.
Okay.
I stick with black cards. There we go. Mixed. All mixed up.
Okay.
Now I'm curious. What is about to happen?
So I wrote down a prediction. It's a little bit longer. Okay. I have one paper left. The second phase, and here we go. So it's an all in preview. We do the top camera again. Here you can see we cannot move it anymore. Now the idea is this: you shuffled the deck, and you're happy with that?
Yes.
We are not
Absolutely.
Yeah, we are not mixing anything anymore.
I'm so happy.
And you selected the black cards for
blacks,
you, right?
yeah.
So all I'm doing is now I'm going through the cards, and when I see 2 red cards next to each other, I will get them. If they are 2 black cards, you will get them. If they are mixed like this, well, that's a great presentation.
Yeah.
Well shuffled.
Great.
Well,
Yeah.
very well done.
On
So
purpose.
when they are like this, we are just discard the cards here into the center. As you can see here already, everything is discarded. Maybe here, and this one would be for me. Discard pile. Oh, that's a lot for discard. Come on.
What is
Okay,
going
you shuffled
on?
really good. Okay, here we go. That's for you. That's for you. That's for me, and me. Well, you did a very good job. It's not a lot of you for you here.
Nice.
And here we go. How many cards did you pick? Maybe I also
have
count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You have 6?
I have 6, yeah.
And I have 10.
Yeah.
And here's the prediction that says you have 4 cards less than me.
Okay, that is true, yeah.
Uh-huh,
That is indeed true.
And you shuffled.
Yeah, I shuffled. Yeah, I shuffled them all.
Okay, cool. Then why not shuffle them one more time and I do another prediction?
All right, give it another shuffle. Then this time I do it face up, just so
Okay.
everyone sees that there's nothing fishy going on here. But I'm even shuffling much better. And let me just give it a short casino shuffle. Dingsbums. Dingsbums, as we say in Germany. Yeah.
Dingsbums.
Dingsbums.
Okay.
Dingsbums. Dingsbums shuffle.
Unfortunately, it's a longer prediction, that's why. So here we go. Here's the second one.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
And I have to do it again. Do you want to do it? Oh, which color do you
Black.
want?
I
Black again?
Stick to black, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You can now switch to red.
No, I stick to black.
Okay,
I
perfect.
stick to
We
black.
try one more time. That's for me. That's for you. That's for everybody. One more time. This is for me.
Show it a little bit more in the camera so everyone can see.
Oh, sorry. Here's the red one.
This
Yes.
thing, this.
And I'll do everything here.
Perfect.
Yeah, well
Yeah.
centered. Okay. That's for me. That's for you. You. Nobody. 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 You. 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 Nobody. Again. Wow,
Nobody.
that's a lot for you. Wow, that's a lot for you. And
No.
no more for me. Okay.
All right.
Here we go. And by the way, it's not a gimmick. This is all impromptu, borrowed deck, whatsoever. It
Explanation incoming.
works. Coming in a second. And here we go. Let's count again together.
Eins,
Oder? 1,
3,
2.
Oh, let's start over.
Yes, in English. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 cards this time.
That's
Way
14
more than the
cards.
last time. 14 and 14 you could count with us, and it says we will have equal cards.
No, that's true.
100% true, yes.
That is true.
And this one here is, did I already show which one it is? This effect is called Miraskill.
Miraskill, yeah.
Miraskill. And it's an awesome, easy routine. And it's up to you how you will perform this and in which context and how you will spice it up, etc. It's really a borrowed deck.
It can be shuffled by the spectator.
100%. It should be shuffled by a spectator. And hey, I fooled him. That's very nice, Luis. Yes, and it's super simple. You can even Marco, the guy from the book, he is recommending this. For instance, if you are booked in a radio show or podcast or whatsoever. Now it would be podcast. I think in that time it didn't exist when he wrote the book. So bring maybe a shuffling machine to the to the place where the audience can listen to a shuffling technique whatsoever, so that you can even talk about the machine and so on and so on. So you're 100% generally shuffling the cards. And what Marco did, he used his answering machine at home, having a message in there what the prediction will be. So after everything was dealt, etc., then he would call together with the moderator. He would call his phone at home at that time when there were still answering machines and not redirections, and you would then hear the prediction of being 2 off, 4 more, 3, 4 less, or whatever. It's that simple. Now, here is the explanation of Miraskill, and you will find this not only in the book of the best of the Learn Pick project. No, actually, it was published in the Jinx in one of the first books, and also it was published in the books of the Encyclopedia of Card Tricks or Card Magic. I don't remember. And it is by Stuart James.
Stuart James, yeah.
Yeah, it is by Stuart James and was published there. Super simple method because it's a mathematical principle. And usually I hate mathematical principles, but this
most of the time, yeah.
Well, but then you have, for instance, the Gilbreth principle. We should do something in the next few weeks with the Gilbreth because I love it. And here it is that, well, as you understand, there are only 3 possible outcomes, right? You would either have 2 black cards, you would have 2 red cards, or a mix out of it. And when you think about it, as soon as you see 2 cards black together, there must be also 2 cards red somewhere in the pack. So if you're not doing anything with the deck, the outcome will always be that there will be an equal pile. You don't know exactly the amount of cards that each pile will have, but you will know that here will be the exact same amount like in the than in the other pack. Will 100% be the same. But as said, you don't know if it's 14 or 12 or whatever number, because there will be a lot of cards card pairs that will be discarded. Now, how did it work with the first phase? You're just removing a few cards because, as you know, the piles will be equal. So how do you get more cards of the black than in the red? All you would have to do is you are secretly removing a few cards, let's say 4 red cards from the pack, and leave them outside in your pocket or whatsoever. And you do the first phase. And all you can now predict is that there will be 4 more black cards than red cards later on. And for the first phase, you don't know if the spectator will choose the black ones or the red ones. So you have to do a prediction as soon as he will say, okay, I will take the red cards or the black ones. Then you know, and you can write it down. This will be the prediction. First phase, you will deal down the cards, super simple. And you will certainly find 4 more black cards than red cards. And while he is still counting, or everybody is counting, you're taking away the pile in the center, and you're secretly adding the 4 cards that were removed earlier. And now you have a deck that is equally having red and black cards. So when you go in the second phase, now you can do the prediction even up front before the spectator selects the red or black cards. So he will even forget that you needed the selection in the first phase, so that you would know the prediction in that way. So yeah, this is a self-working trick.
That's good. And
Miraskill, yes.
it can be
super.
shuffled as much as a spectator wants. And I think you can add a little bit more around this that would make it even stronger. But I think for a base, you have something really solid here that you can build up on.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking of maybe not doing only one deck of cards. Hey, Kenny, good to see you.
Hey, Kenny.
Please call, go back later and watch the first few minutes, because we also explained 2 routines. And I think you will love the tricks that we did here. Now, what you can also do is you're not using only one deck of cards, but you're taking 2 decks of cards. Let's say 1 red and 1 blue deck. And well, you can do the same thing. There will be a higher pile, whatsoever. However, the outcome will be exactly the same. Now, this time you can not only do 2 phases. Maybe at the beginning there were red cards missing, and when you do the total, then everything is equal. And then you can do the last phase where you are then now doing the same thing but on the backs. So now everything is shuffled and you are going through the deck of cards. Some are being 2 times red, 2 times blue, or a mix, and you're counting strong, there. So all you have to do is then mixing the maybe you want to have an outcome that everything is perfect, then you do it with 2 full decks, or you are putting some more red cards into a blue deck. And so it's up to you what you want. A
lot of stuff you can build around this.
Right, then you have 3 phases. A routine with 3 phases is always good, right? So it's 1 more. I did not play around with this one because I just remember.
Just the bare bones.
Yes, bare bones. It's the Miraskill. I highly recommend, doing this one and coming up with new ideas. Would love to see maybe 1 or 2 suggestions down in the comments. That would be awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So these were the 2 effects that we showed today. We will continue in the next few weeks as well. Next week will be Easter, so we will do a kind of recording, because you will not be here, I will not be here. However, we want to be here on a Monday for you, and as this will be Easter, we will do a special somehow. We will think about something, and we'll surprise you next Monday, going live then at this time. That will be awesome. Yes, and then in 2 weeks we are back live here. Would love to see you all, show you more routines, recommend new tricks, certainly all this.
Absolutely.
This will be awesome. Oh, and we should do this here as well. I
think so.
Yes, because we suggested, welcome to all the guys who now switched in. We suggested that you should go into your library, pick up one of the old books that you might have not read for a long time, or that you just purchased and put it on the shelf. I think it's, was it McBride or Eugene who said, owning a book doesn't make you read the book.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, it was Max Maiden it was.
Max Maiden, but yes. that's really true.
Really, yeah. So just owning the book is nothing. You have to read it. So maybe start with pick one routine and see if it works for you. And here comes the interesting part. If you like, learn it, maybe modernize it a little bit. Maybe you find an old routine in the Encyclopedia of Card Magic or in the Jinx or whatsoever that uses a fabric towel to do a card trick, or that uses a napkin out of silk, or what do I know, and modernize it in a way that you can then make maybe a presentation and try to fool us or whatsoever, and send us this video, not just by YouTube upload or whatsoever, but do a WeTransfer and send us this link to info@card-shark.de, to our website, to our email address. And we will collect all these, and if there are enough presentations, we will do a drawing. We will do a competition. A competition.
Yeah.
And we would say that you can submit any routines that you would like to show us, not explaining not yet the method. You should be willing to explain the method or where you found it.
At least where you found it, right?
Yes, that you can say, well, I found it in this book, page blah, blah, blah. And so that it can be looked up. It would be awesome. Maybe we'll bring you even the winner, or we will bring live in.
Yeah,
that would be very nice. And so you can find a gem in your old books and submit a video until middle of May. If there are not too many or enough submissions, then we will show them all without a competition. But if we get enough of them, then we would love to do a competition where you will be the vote. You will say, "Hey, I like this one the most," and they will win something. We will figure out some nice prizes.
Winner gets a Phoenix deck.
No, it will be more than a Phoenix deck. It will be maybe it will be one of the prototype decks, because this is so unique. Only a handful of these cards
There will
were
be
ever made.
a really good thing that you.
Oh yeah,
that you win.
yes. So I think it will be worth it. It's not even winning something. It's worth it because you will have found a gem for yourself that you might have forgotten about to do, because we always like to strive for the newest trick. But if you go for an old book and calculate now, this is also to get the segue to the title of this YouTube stream. If you are taking a book, let's say for $30, or a used book for only 10, and you count the tricks in there, maybe 30, maybe 50, maybe 50 routines in there, and you make the math, then you will find out that in a book there is sometimes magic for less than $1.
Yeah.
And these are sometimes the best tricks you can ever have.
Right.
Yeah.
And you also, even if it just sparks an idea, just go through this. And I think it's a really good thing in a time where we all get shown enormous trailers of magic tricks, and so we were bombarded with it.
And if you would know that most that some of them are just doing the same.
Yeah.
They are going into old books like the Table Course, or what was it?
Yeah, and being inspired there.
Yeah, and they are inspired there, or just making it modernize them. And you will think, wow, how could he come up with that?
Cool, yeah.
And it was already done 100 years ago. Who knows?
Right. Luis, it doesn't matter if it's a gimmick deck or not. It's just important that it was found by a book. It really is important. The only rule is...
Interesting, doing it also with a gimmick deck. That would be impossible for us to know.
Yeah, the only rule is it should not be an
explanation yet.
A marketed effect that is sold by, let's say, Penguin Magic or whatever, any magic shop at the moment. It needs to be something that is in a book, and it is not marketed.
Shall we do a book that is more than 20 years old?
Yeah, why not?
Go for old books. Go for something that you might find on your shelf whatsoever.
Yeah.
That you haven't opened up for a very long time. And we try to encourage you to go there and find something old that is new again. Make it new.
Even if it's... I have a book. I was gifted by my mother-in-law. And it's in Polish. It's from Poland.
Oh, nice.
Everything's in Polish in there. But there was one thing that sparked a new idea, and I had a...
Could you read it?
No, I couldn't read it, but
the images?
There were images, and
wow!
And I had an idea of what it was about.
Wow!
And it was great. Yeah, it was great. It's sometimes you find good inspiration where you don't look for it, or where you don't think you will get it. Right?
I'm 100% impressed. Yes. Oh, by the way, there's also Chris Washuber. What's his library.com? Library with a two the Y.
I don't know what you mean.
You don't know the page? He has very, very old books as PDF files for a very tiny price. So you would get 100-year-old books
really know.
as a...
No.
And there you can see Chris Washuber, ex-Austrian, living in America.
Okay.
Yeah, great stuff as well. And I highly encourage you, take some paper, flip some pages, find a gem.
Do it.
And show it to us. It would be awesome to know. Yes, absolutely.
Looking forward to it.
So we wish you a great week.
Right.
Until
happy
Monday.
Easter is
kind of too early.
If we don't see us live anymore. So
we won't, but we will see us somehow.
Yeah.
So enjoy the week, stay healthy and magical at least, because now healthy will be easier and easier nowadays, I would say.
Exactly. And now go read a book.
yeah, why not?
And be inspired by a book.
So we see us in a week, live in 2 weeks. All the best. Thanks for joining us. And until then,
see ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys. Bye.